Aquarius, this is Hanging with Aquarius, May 2020. Thank you for joining me. This is Street Level Spirituality coming at you with another reading. May 2020, it's not funny. There's a virus going around. People ain't making money. And people be tripping. Getting all full of fear. Getting all full of anger. Where you at? Always remember, it's the mind. Okay, obviously we gotta deal with real shit in the world, man. But don't be tripping, man. Don't be feeding the fear. Got enough time for that, Aquarius. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Today on Hanging With, we're going to be doing a little bit of astro weather. We're going to be checking out where the planets are in the world. Which reminds me, I should probably bring that up. Other than that, we're going to be doing the music shuffle, where I play a song while I shuffle, purely for entertainment, and it gives me an opportunity to share a song I made, because it's something I love doing. And I'm hoping that maybe somebody will enjoy it too. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And then after that, what we will do is we will do your tarot reading for May 2020. See what's going on. A little more on a little more spiritual level for yourselves. All right, let's move this and let's hide. I mean, I like staring at myself. It's kind of taking up my whole screen here. And so let's check out. Let's do the musical shuffle in between astro weather and tarot this time. I think that might be a better place for it. Aquarius, how you doing? Not a whole bunch going on in your sign, but we do have a Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. So Saturn's entered your sign. That's really kind of the main theme for Aquarius. Saturn's entered your sign recently, so there's a deepened sense of responsibility and being held accountable for things in your life. Just remember, the lesson with Saturn is really simple. It can be mundane. It can kind of make you have to do tedious tasks over and over again. It can hold you accountable for your behavior. But the lesson with Saturn is that you learn to make peace with the mundane and find a way to enjoy the process. So if we're so impatient that we always just need things to get done, we're not really learning how to live with or live in this material reality within the earth plane. And our spiritual work right now is to learn how to work in the earth plane. We are souls. We have all sorts of harmony and beauty and goodness at our core. And when we're home, everything's peaceful. Earth gives us an opportunity to grow, and those spiritual lessons that we grow with while being on Earth, we can take with us in our soul development moving forward. So there's all sorts of limitation on the Earth, and Saturn blesses us with the opportunity to learn how to develop a way to work with this limitation. So when we're facing limitation, instead of focusing on what we don't have, we need to focus on what we have and how we can adapt. It's an adaptive thing. So is the world screwed up? Is it scary? Is it frightening? Are we all going to die? Yes, absolutely. And which is great, because it provides an opportunity for us to see how we can get flexible and creative within this experience. So that's the theme that Aquarius is experiencing right now. Let's get into the astro weather. Big cloud passing by. I'm going to do some fun stuff for that. Anyway, welcome to Astro Weather on Street Level Spirituality. Starting off at the beginning of the month, let's get to the Tarot Astro split screen view. This is May 1, 2020. We are listening to DJ Laura Lowe's Affection Mix on Soundcloud. DJ Laura Lowe blew my mind at some festival a number of years ago. Amazing tunes, good times. If you just like chilling. Oh, May 1. Where are we at? Oh, we're in the stars. May 1, we've got Aquarius. What's going on in Aquarius? Well, Jupiter's almost in your sign. So this next coming year, after it goes retrograde, it's going to go retrograde for the summer. Then it's going to go right into your chart. So if you look down there right below, around 8 o'clock, you'll see Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter's going to be entering your sign. Fantastic. So Jupiter's always, it's what everybody wants on their sign. So later this year, early fall, from fall to fall of 2020 to 2021, you know, there's wonderful new opportunities in your life, wonderful new expansion and growth, and that's going to be wonderful for you, Aquarius. Not quite there yet. You still have to get through the summer. You do have Saturn at 1 degree, which is kind of its hot point. Again, we talked about that sense of responsibility. You've had Mars in your sign for a while now. It'll be there for a little bit longer. So you're just feeling the energy about moving forward. You know, you got a lot of pizzazz, maybe a lot of animal passion, feeling really zingy. Opposite to your sign is you have the Moon. So some emotional opposition. So some, you know, just some sort of emotional stuff coming up that needs to be looked at. Coming into May 1st, we have Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus. That's down there at the bottom around 6 o'clock on the chart there. You can see Uranus, the red sign there, next to the yellow sign Mercury, next to the Sun. So we've got a gangbang up there in Taurus. Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus is interesting because it aspects what I feel is kind of the aspect of the decade, so to say, which is Uranus and Taurus. Uranus went into Taurus in March of 2018. It'll be there till 2026. Last time Uranus was in Taurus was from 1934 to 1942, which you will remember for its great hits like the Depression, World War II, Earth changes and the Dust Bowl, and many other exciting things. So it's that kind of energy. It's this massive changes and quick changes in anything that Taurus rules, which is money, materialism, love. That's ruled by Venus. So anything, the point is this, is that swift changes in the earth, anything material, earth changes, money changes. So we've already seen that with the virus. The virus seems to be the theme this time instead of the Great Depression. How that's going to affect us in the long run, how this is going to play out over time. People are fucking tripping out, dude. I mean, yeah, this is serious shit, but you know, sometimes the price of fear is not necessarily worth the consequence of it. So, you know, we have to put things in perspective, and we're also learning a lot about the mind and fear. There are forces out there that would like us to be fearful, to constantly put out aggression, frustration, and fear, because it feeds certain life forms. Now, maybe you don't think that's true, and that's great, but when you're tired, man, that energy is going somewhere. So keep that in mind. This is stuff that gets deeper in esoteric mysteries, and if you're into that kind of stuff, it's out there. A lot of people can't handle it. They don't know how to deal with it, but just trust me. Don't live your life in fear. You're feeding things that don't like you and use you. So that's part of my mission here, is to live a more spirited life, to know the truth, not get overwhelmed by it, not be frightened by it, but instead transform that into a spirit and energy that helps society as a whole. Growing food, cooking for yourself, body stretching, hot baths, putting flowers in your house, loving yourself, being creative, using your creative powers to absolutely devastate and destroy the darkness upon this planet. If you like that, you're in the right place. Check out street-level.net if you want more, or if you just want to subscribe to my newsletter or my email list, which I do not send anything anyway, but I will reach out and hook you up with some free shit if you sign up. So do it. Street-level.net. Just doing my thing. Anyway, so May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day. On Star Wars Day this year, the ships are grounded with the sun illuminating Mercury and Taurus. The way we communicate and think is very beautiful, articulate, and grounded. So May the 4th, Great day to reach out to a loved one, someone you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe even resolve a difficult situation because people are practical and loving. May 4th. May 7th, we get the full moon in Scorpio. This is an opportunity to get in touch with our deeper desires or deeper needs, areas that we've neglected, areas where we've judged ourselves about our needs. Maybe our needs are more obscure. We've got a lot of Gemini energy. You know, Geminis are into all sorts of weird three-way, wacky stuff, you know. So, I mean, who knows what lays latent and what you're into. I ain't judging. It's all good. Just know where your wrenches are at. Be nice how you use your wrenches. Take care of yourself. There may be something that you need to be honest with yourself about that you're not being honest with yourself, and you can't sweep it under the rug anymore. May 11th, we've got our first of 3 retrogrades. We've got Saturn in retrograde. Saturn in retrograde in your sign of Aquarius. So good time for reflection. This is going to go from Aquarius back up into Capricorn, where it was before. So you'll see a last visitation. Now this is how retrogrades usually work, okay? Is you'll have a planet come and transform you, like Saturn, right? With responsibility. Think of it as like a car running over a squirrel, right? And then that's the initial when it comes into the sign, right? Then it goes on and on. Then it is retrograde, then it backs up. It goes, and it backs you up again as it's going backwards. So it triggers, meaning it triggers the same lesson, right? And then you're like, oh gosh, I got run over once, but I got run over again. And then it's like, and then when it comes out of retrograde, it goes forward again and runs you over again. You're like, oh my God, how many times is this going to run me over? So the lesson typically, in most signs, when there are lessons, is it's a 3-hit system, right? So you've got one last tiny little hit of whatever this responsibility is in the sign of Capricorn, which is your authority, old structures, and all that stuff. There may be something that as an old structure that's been deep rooted, and this is your last test to see if you're still responding the same way, still triggering the same way. You really want to pay attention because you don't want to prolong these lessons or avoid or neglect these lessons, because next time Saturn comes around, it could absolutely devastate you. So great time to be very responsible. Now this is an area of everyone's charts that has to do with evaluating your friendships, making sure that they're healthy, making sure how you're interacting with your relationships and friendships is healthy, and being mindful about the energy that we're throwing around also. So anything to do with friendships, responsibilities, and how we're addressing or how we see those things is going to come up. It's a great time to weed the garden, so to say, see what things are working for you. But that also has to do with its old structures and how you deal with friendships, the way you see friendships, the way you interact in friendships. And often what we can do is that we unconsciously create situations that benefit us energetically, and that can be more important than us truly serving that situation from a spiritual point of view. It doesn't mean always being nice. It doesn't mean always having boundaries up. It means being willing to have the experience, to feel the emotional burden, but to ascend or above it with wisdom and insight about how to address the situation appropriately. Sometimes it just simply means focusing on something else, you know? Some people get really wrapped up in stuff because they want things to be a certain way, you know? So applied wisdom is really, really important in these types of situations, because we break the energetic charge that ties us karmatically to these situations with others. So anyway, so that's Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be backing up, and it comes back direct in September 29th. So it's all summer long. Party. Then we have on May 13th, a couple days later, we have the sign Venus entering Gemini on May 13th. But unfortunately, the same day, we also have Venus going retrograde in Gemini until June 25th. Venus being retrograde in Gemini, like I said before, it can get kind of weird. Venus is love. It's the way that we love. That could be a multiple partner, affair type weird situation there. It could be just being more mentally stimulating. It can be being attracted to things you wouldn't necessarily usually be attracted to, or things that usually wouldn't attract you or be attractive to you. Oh God. Things that wouldn't usually find you attractive, finding you attractive. So it could be that you get into some weird fucking hobby that you never thought you'd get into. You might meet someone weird that you never thought you'd meet before. Great time for fun and opportunity. Just keep in mind that once Venus comes out of retrograde on June 25th, you probably won't feel the same way. So great time to have fun, not a great time to be making long-term commitments or fucking up commitments you already have. So be mindful of that. Same day, May 13th, Mars also enters Pisces. Mars, the planet of fire and war and purpose and moving forward, doesn't feel very at home or very active in the sign of Pisces, which is watery and kind of floaty. So you can feel a little aimless and confused in the middle of the month because of both that and the Venus retrograde in Gemini. Very next day, we've got, on May 14th, we've got Jupiter also going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn until the 13th of September. The visual I have here is you're super excited about going to the beach. You put your new bathing suit on. You're standing out in the water. You're going to try to take some sexy picture and show off and be cocky. A wave comes up behind you, knocks your bathing suit off, and you're exposed in front of everyone at work. The theme here is that Jupiter is bound to expose you this summer if you haven't checked yourself at work in a while. Take your time to evaluate every situation with the magnifying glass and take some personal time to reflect on areas you can grow professionally. Don't embarrass yourself at work or anything that has to do with your work. Don't be overly confident. Always take the time to reflect on things before you get into work, whether you work for yourself or work with other people. Is take the time to reflect on what you're doing, why you're doing it, what your intentions are, and areas that you can grow, because Jupiter, with its expansive energy, is bound to coax some poor behavior out of you that needs to be lifted up to the light to be purified. And again, that's all summer. Don't fuck around at work this summer, yo. Overconfidence is a major mistake. What are your strengths and weaknesses, professionally speaking? Focus on that. Bring it to the light. Purify the shit that's easy food for you. Okay? We don't feed on each other. We feed on what we create, the sunlight, and the eternal energy within us, not each other. Right? Are we just shells for parasitic entities to eat other people through? Or are we here to shine, create life and goodness, and bring harmony to a planet that's chaotic? It's up to you. You can do what the fuck you want. Okay, May 20th, Sun enters Gemini. Happy birthday, Geminis. When the Sun enters Gemini, we simply have a more excited, fun-loving, ready to get out and go attitude and explore the world or your minds. We want to create new experiences for ourselves. And so this could also indicate that more towards the middle or end of May, we might have some loosening up of opportunities for people to get out and explore the world, or simply a deep feeling that we need to do more of it. May 28th, at the end of the month, the last aspect of the month is Mercury entering the sign of Cancer. Mercury is the planet of communications in the mind. It's mercurial energy. When it's in the sign of Cancer, we are more emotionally sensitive to people in the way that we communicate, and our emotions tend to dominate our decision-making process. That is the astro weather for May 2020 for Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, what we're going to do is we're going to do the music shuffle. As I punch my microphone, we're going to do the music shuffle, leading into your tarot reading for the month. So let's go ahead and pick a song for the music shuffle. I've just been playing Laura Low here. I don't know how I'm feeling today. How are you guys feeling today? I don't know. I play a lot of my music on here just because it's a way to share, but I'm getting kind of tired of it. Let's listen to You Are Here. Nah, we don't need that right now. How about we need Conditions? Let's listen to the End of Conditions. It's a pretty exciting song. While we shuffle, while we do the music shuffle, let's do the End of Conditions. And ooh. Alright, musical shuffle. Push the wrong button. Check out the guitar riff, it's pretty fun. I'll see you in a bit.
Was to my own soul. We don't know each other anything. I walked off into the void as he yelled threats in the distance.
Yeah. Alright, Aquarius.
I walked off into the void as he yelled threats in the distance. Off into the void as he yelled threats in the distance. I looked off into the void as he yelled threats in the distance.
All right. Musical shuffle. That was Conditions by Dustin Byerly. I have a new album called Our Invisible Guest on street-level.net. Check it out. Name and price. Download it for free if you'd like. I don't care. Enjoy it. Check it out. So let's check out Aquarius May 2020. Let's see what the themes are. Now, I do more shadow astrology, shadow tarot work, which means we're looking into the shadows to the dark areas that we could improve in our lives. Unlike most astrologers and tarot readers out there who tell you what you want to hear, I'll tell you what's going to best benefit you if you are interested in spiritual growth. If you're not interested in spiritual growth, then there are plenty of astrologers and tarot readers out there that can make you feel good about yourself if that's what you're looking for. If not, hang around and let's see what we can do to increase the peace and create a more wonderful and exciting reality to live in that means something to us for Aquarius. Aquarius is all about the greater good. It is all about the invisible forces flowing and moving. Aquarius are amazingly powerful people. We're not music shuffling anymore, so let's go ahead and turn that off there. We got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse as the nature of our reading. We'll check out what that means in a second here. What's influencing it? Five of Swords in reverse. In the spiritual realms, we have the message from the angels saying, hey, take some time to appreciate all the hard work you've done. You've come out of the cold in the past. That's over. In the subconscious realms, what's motivating you subconsciously, unconsciously, is this new, beautiful, opportune expression. It's like spring coming. Hey, coming up in the future, man, you got the Ace of Pentacles. That's the best card you can possibly get, guys. So this is a new opportunity presented from the spiritual realms. Your attitude in this situation is the Two of Wands. And you're really considering things. You're looking out to the world and saying, you know, who am I? What am I doing here? The energy around you is a little bit of hopelessness. There's a hopeless energy in your environment, right? So this is around you. So, you know, we want to always make sure that we're tending to our inner reality, not our outer reality, right? So there's kind of this bleak hopelessness out there. We're staring at three cups that are empty instead of the two that are full behind us. We have our back to it. But this is in reverse. So this is going to be the opposite of energy. This is coming out of that type of energy, which is really great. Your greatest hopes and greatest fears is your ability to master or be able to kind of really wield your power appropriately. And your outcome is the King of Swords. So this is somebody who's really learn how to direct their mind in a way that's really powerful, meaningful, helpful, and is also beneficial not to just the self, but to the other. They've collected so many mental resources, they're able to share that with others, which is really powerful. So it's a very fulfilling experience here. Now, getting to the nature of the reading, we got the Queen of Pentacles here. Let me shut off my Astro messages here. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles upright is very practical, homely, very motherly, but there's some issues here. So let's see, the nature of the reading here is more about finding balance within our work-life commitments and our family commitments. So there's something a little bit out of balance here. Maybe family or nurturing has taken a major focus and work is not being addressed, or work is too much of a focus and family and nurturing is not being addressed. So there's some sort of balance happening here. A need for balance in what would be the fourth and sixth, the fourth and 10th houses in astrology. What's influencing it here is the Five of Swords. Let's do our zoomed up tarot view here. So this is here. See, this is upright. This dude's like, he's kind of envious of himself. He's got all the swords. No one else gets him. He knocked him down. It's a treasure to himself. Now, the Five of Swords in the opposite view is, this is moving forward. This is open to change. This is moving past these past resentments against people. So this is really good in the sense that there's some sort of movement forward after a trial and tribulation. There's been some imbalance, but now you're moving forward. So it's either, like I said, it's either work or family or home. It's out of balance. You're bringing that into balance because you're over it, so to say. Again, from the spiritual realms, your angelic message is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is, hey, look, all this hard work I've done. Look at these plants I planted. I started my business. I really invested in myself. Now I have an opportunity to just sit back and watch it grow. So I think that if you're somebody who's looking at like, hey, wow, I haven't really developed my work, is to just maybe take the time to look and say, wow, look at all you've done and all you have to work with. Is it so bad? You know, is it so bad what you've created? How can we go back out to the garden? And, you know, I used to go to the garden every day. You know, it's been like 3 days, you know, to be like, oh, well, shoot, you know what? I got sidetracked a little bit. Let's get back out to the garden. Let's prune it. Let's weed it. Let's keep it going. And this, again, this is either material with works related stuff in your expression or in your connections with other people. You're over it. You're over being isolated. You're over being only focusing on work or only focusing on friendships. You see that it's a great opportunity. That's a message from the spiritual realms. In the past, you felt neglected or on the cold. That's what's motivated this motivated your poor relationships with other people, right? You felt cast out. You were kind of bitter about it, but you're over it. You realize that there is a beauty and richness to the outer world or to your work or resources, things that you've been upset about, and you're ready to move forward. You've done a good job here. Now, in the subconscious realms, the reason why this is all happening is that you want a renewal. You want, whether you're conscious of it or not, is you want to move forward. You want things to be beautiful again. You're ready to take the chip off your shoulder because this is more important than that chip. The beautiful thing about it is that since you're ready to move forward, the universe says, I'm ready to help you. Ace of Pentacles is saying you're going to have all the resources and things you need to bring that fulfillment and balance into your life. I'm going to bring it to you. Your attitude in the situation is great. You're saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm open to this new journey. I can mend my ways. You know, I can mend my ways with other people, with my career, and my views, because I recognize that, you know, even though I went through some challenging situations in regards to these outer circumstances, I'm strong enough and I have the wisdom enough to be able to manage these situations when people come in and want to take advantage of me. Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it was how I dealt with it, the way I saw it, and my ability to manage my own resources and manage my mind and emotions. And these people were just testing me to bring the best out of me, right? So it's bringing it into balance. And you're saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready to consider that view. I'm over the pain. I want a new inspiration here in my life. I want the star. What do we need to do to move forward? 5 of Cups. This is your environment around you. Like I said, 5 of Cups upright, lost, disappointment. In reverse, moving on, acceptance, forgiveness. I mean, your reading is loud and clear here. So you have the environment around you supporting it. That means people are ready to hear from you in a professional sense. Family members, loved ones, people are ready to hear from you. And you may not feel that way because you're like, no, they don't love me. No. The people that you think don't love you or didn't love you, customers, family members, whoever these people are in your lives that you've felt neglected by or hurt by, are just waiting for you to reach out. And your greatest hopes and greatest fears, the Emperor, and it's really simple here, is that, it's whether you're able to manage with strength these situations that used to bring you down. So, like I said, when we apply wisdom and recognize that it's really the way we're responding to things, not the situations themselves, that is truly the issue, then, we become the Emperor, because we become empowered and we recognize where we need to focus our attention, not on the past, not on other people's behaviors, but how we manage our behaviors. So maybe we threw baby out with the bathwater, and maybe part of baby, maybe baby did need to get thrown in the dumpster. I don't know. But it's basically saying here that no matter what situation we face in our lives, we can walk into it with confidence, knowing that we have the strong foundation of the awareness that we are souls, we are co-creators with God, we are eternal, and that we have the ability to open and close the gates in a manner that is consistent, looks out for us, takes care of ourselves and others, and is with wisdom. So anyway, that's your greatest hopes and greatest fears, is whether or not you're going to be able to achieve this. And your outcome card is the King of Swords. So I couldn't see anything stronger than to say that you're able to do this, because the King of Swords is somebody who's mastered the mind. The sword is the mind. It cuts both ways. So these are mental forces. The king says, I know what I'm intending. I know how to wield this sword, and I know how to decide what's good and what's bad for me. And I also know how to utilize my mind in a way that is harmonious and creates the best good for myself and others. So Aquarius, it's a beautiful time. You've been kind of maybe hanging out in the dark for a little bit. You're overcoming this past hurt, feeling neglected, feeling left out in the cold. People are waiting for you to reach out. Again, it's either going to be home and family or career. It could be both in some levels for you. But there was something that kind of just burnt you out, something that made you feel left out in the cold. And now subconsciously you're like, I've been gone so long. It's time to come back, and I'm willing to face the music, so to say. So anyway, Aquarius, I really appreciate you guys stopping by and being a part of my journey, which is to, really fulfill my purpose here on the planet, which I had no idea was going to be tarot and astrology and spiritual things. But I see that the world is struggling, and I see that a lot of people are in fear, a lot of people are in anger, a lot of people are in dogmatic views. I'm here to share the message that I believe that life is about having a spirited life, not talking about spirit intellectually, but actually living a spirited life, dancing, expressing yourself, eating healthy and living foods, promoting goodness in life in what we do, and acceptance and playfulness, creativity. So thanks for joining me on my journey. Got a new website. It's street-level.net. It's down here, right there. Come check it out. I'd really appreciate it. And sign up for a reading, sign up for a chart, whatever you need. If you need flexibility in pricing, just email me, streetlevelspirituality@gmail.com, and I got you. Please subscribe. It does help me a lot. Go to Twitch, follow. You'll get notifications when I do live streams. And I'm going to be doing a lot more content than just this also. So anyway, check it out, sign it up, Much love, Aquarius. I'll see you next month.